Hi there, let's talk about branching using SourceTree again. So this is the most important part here, the branches part, and you can see that I've currently checked out master because it's the only branch I have locally. And to create a new branch, you can right click on branches here and say new branch, and then this dialog will pop up. We will call this new branch first, and then we have an option here, which is really, you can just disregard this. This is basically always this is the default, and you basically always want this. Working copy parent means master. Specified commit can be any of the branches or commits. So you can branch off of this commit for some reason if you want to. This can be useful later on, but you usually want to create a new branch off of an existing branch. And you want to also check it out. You don't just want to create the branch, you want to use it right away. That's basically what you usually do. Okay, so on the first branch, you can see it is on the same level as master. Let's create some stuff here. There's nothing to commit, of course, there's nothing there. So this is some content. Let's call it file. Very creative file name. It's important, yeah, very important. So you will see that in the working copy, sorry, got the jumping around. With this file, let's stage it and then commit it in the file. So first is now ahead of master by one commit. Let's create a second branch. I suppose it would be best to do this from master. That's, oh yeah, double clicking is a shortcut for right click checkout. So yeah. Keep in mind though that checking out another branch does modify how Git interacts with your working copy. So you might get weird behavior if you have unstaged changes or uncommitted changes. It will probably not do what you want. Yeah, be cautious about this. Just try to keep your repository clean before changing branches. Okay, so let's create another branch. Let's call it second. Creating a branch is really fast once you get used to the default GUI stuff, so you can basically just ignore it. And yeah. And from here, you will see here that the file is still there. So this is some content. This is other content. Let's create a new file that is exactly the same name. I've just saved it. So if we check the working copy, it's an unstaged file and untracked because there's not tracked, there's a question mark here, because I'm on another branch from master and the file was on first, so we've created a new one in a second. And now that we've got this, we stage it and add file with other content. This is on a file level, basically. What I'm provoking here is a merge conflict. So if I go to first and say, okay, now let's merge first into second. Are you sure you want to merge? Yes, let's do this. So you now have merge conflicts in your working copy that need to be resolved before continuing. You can do this by selecting the conflicted files and using the options under the Resolve Conflicts menu. Don't ask me again, it's not asking me anything. Well, I suppose they don't show it again. So let's check the working copy. There's a staged file with an exclamation mark here. So it's conflicted. What it actually does is insert these characters here in your file. So if you ever encounter this in your file, it means that you're working on a file that is not meant to be worked on like that. So what did it tell me? Resolve conflicts. Okay, let's launch external merge to work. You have also the option to resolve the merge using the other files, theirs or mine. Basically, theirs is from the other branch and mine is from your branch that you are on right now. And you can also mark it as resolved if you like to keep the nice angle brackets here, but yeah, that's probably not what you want. Visual merge in progress. Something should start on my side. Yeah. So I'm using Perforce merge, P4 merge. You can get this tool for free, and it's a pretty nice tool. And you just have to set it up. Look it up. It's not that hard. So what it tells me now, there's this yellow square here and this blue fan and the green dot here. So this is basically what is the base. Base is your version basically in this case, because it's a new file. There is no real base. Base would be what both the blue and the green versions would be based on. So that's why it's called base. So this is why the file, the blue one is, well, you can see the changes here, and in the green version you don't have any changes because yeah, that's what we base it on. So in our case, only these two are interesting for us. So it already suggests you to use the sum content. No idea why it chose that. It should actually have created a conflicted line, but yeah. Here on the bottom, if you're using this tool, other tools will behave differently. You can type stuff there. I've accidentally triggered something else. You can also use the buttons here to switch between these. You can also combine them when you're holding Shift, I think, yeah. Then you will keep both versions. So basically you interact here. Only in rare cases should you manually type stuff, but you can if you must. So if we're done with the merge, let's use this other content. Let's save and close it. And there you have it. It's not committed yet. It's just staged, but it is not conflicted anymore. So it already, if you go into the commit text box, it already tells you this nice summary that it already made for you. It automatically generate commit message. And yeah, let's just accept that. It's basically fine. You could just add stuff there. If you check the graph again, we have this nice little dot here for first, which was branched off of master and was merged into second using another commit that we just approved, called merge branch first into second. Yeah, nice name there. So let's create a real conflict. Probably should work like that if I'm not mistaken. Let me try this out. Let's go to first. There you have some content. Let's change it to some more content. Modifying the same line is easier to produce conflict, so yeah. I have created more content, staging that, add more content. And let's check out second. Or no, wait, let's stay on first and merge second into first. Oh, I accidentally checked it out. So yeah, same game again. And there we go, merge second into current one. Oh, by the way, this button here, or this checkbox here, it says something about fast forward. You can do a fast forward if there's not, basically never check this. It will create a merge commit if it has to, and if it doesn't, it will do a fast forward, which basically omits the merge as a commit, but it will keep the graph history here cleaner, the log. So yeah, you should never be in the situation where you really have to do a merge commit. Okay, now we have conflicts. Great, that's what we wanted. So let's go to working copy, we have this again, we resolve the conflicts again using the external tool, which is launching up, and there you have it. Now it's red. It says conflicts 1. This is what I wanted. Here we go. On the bottom, it was unable to decide which of them it wanted. So this is some content is the base, which is true because we merged the file from the first branch to the second and chose that this is some content, and on no, this is other content, and on the first branch we have this is some more content. So now we will have to choose here. Now these little funny colored buttons here come into play. It now shows you all of them, but you can now pick which one you want. So the lines are colored as well, as you see them in the video. And for our purposes, let's say, okay, first has more modifications, more information count, let's take this, and you're done with it. We'll also, no, never mind that. So let's save that again and tell SourceTree by closing the application, tell SourceTree that we're done merging. And we have this modified file again. If you go here in here again, it shows you the same thing, except that now we merge second into first. Basically what we did. And let's commit that. If we check the graph here, you can see there's the merge commit. So it all worked out nicely. So now the one thing you have to keep in mind, I was doing this with a text file right now. You can't do that with binary files, at least not with the merge tools, merge tool I use. I'm not sure if P4Merge can do that, but there are merge tools out there that can diff image files and where you can choose which one you want. I'm not talking about image files, by the way, only. These are binaries in general. Git is not very good with binaries, especially on merge conflicts. This will have to will give you some trouble if you're using branching too much with binaries. So whenever you modify a binary, adding new binaries is fine, by the way. Modifying an existing binary is dangerous if someone else is likely to change it as well. So whenever you change a binary file, make sure to ask your team whether someone else is working on it currently. In the worst case, just make a copy of it and check that new one in. But keep in mind that the more binary files you check in and the more versions of it, different versions of it that Git does not know that they're related, basically renaming them but with the same content, the repository is going to get larger and working with it will be slower. Pushing, pulling, changing branches will all take much more time if you have many binary files. There's no problem with text files because for text files only differences are saved in the commits. For binaries are always checked in as a whole because you cannot really create a difference that makes sense, a delta that makes sense between binary files. So that's why Git checks them in as a whole. There are solutions for that, like Git LFS, which is from the GitHub makers or developers. It stands for large file system, large file storage, I think. But we can't use this right now because it's GitHub only and we're not using GitHub, we're using GitLab, so yeah. Anyway, that's it about merging.